one of the ways to remove a president under the 25th Amendment requires members of the cabinet to act. Do you think they're going to act? Think they're going to act against Biden when they have more power than any cabinet secretaries have ever had in American history? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And maybe we need that, a special counsel to investigate whether the guy has the brain cells and the capacity to do his job. A conservative can dream, can he? We love Australian TV, particularly Sky News. It's just fantastic. And they noticed something the other day that we all noticed. And I want to play this, and I want to talk about it in all seriousness. Go ahead.
I want to go back. I showed a little bit of President Joe Biden meeting with the Israeli president in the White House. I want to show it again. And please, I know he's reading from some notes. That's what he tends to do. But could someone please decipher this for me?
And we brought Israelis and Palestinians together at a political level and Akwa and as well as Shram.
Yes.
And as I affirmed to Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday.
Yeah, Justin, the Israeli president would have been asked whether he needed an interpreter, and he would have said, no, I speak English fine. He would regret that decision.
Yeah, he just thought, what, did I just walk in the wrong door? Did I go in some embassy somewhere, you know, just down the road? He's not well. He's not well. I maintain he isn't. And look, if he wasn't president, he'd probably be in a hospital somewhere. And I don't say that with a laugh or any irony in my voice at all. I actually think he's just not well and should not be running again. His party should be going to him and saying, listen, mate, I'm sorry, you just can't run again. We're going to have to pick someone else.
Pretty important diplomacy, US and Israel.
Oh, well, I'd love to know what the result of that meeting was. I'm on the edge of my seat. I always feel sorry for the other person in these situations because they've got to be so diplomatic. Last week it was King Charles being like, please stop talking to the King's Guard. They can't talk back.
Didn't know whether to say yes, President, or no, President. Just
exactly.
Move on.
We're the laughing stock all over the world with this. We're the laughing stock. It is an embarrassment. The Democrat Party is fully behind him because they like the policies of this administration, which are extremely radical and destructive of this country. He can't run a normal campaign. He's going to do it from his basement again. He can't have press conferences because he can't speak. He can't think. He gets tired. The American people deserve better than this, at least those of us who don't vote for somebody like this. People are running this country. We don't even know who they are. We can surmise they're obviously extraordinarily radical. Bernie Sanders backs Biden, AOC backs Biden because they're getting everything they want. They're thrilled because Biden's busy building a legacy. But how do we accept the fact that a man is sitting in the Oval Office who cannot function? 40% of his time on vacation. 40%. Axios reports that he gets into these screaming situations with his staff, which is another telltale sign of dementia. F word, starts screaming, yelling, no tolerance whatsoever for his own people. And it's a huge cover-up. Now, we have a 25th Amendment to the United States. And that was put in place because we never wanted another situation with a Franklin Roosevelt or particularly Woodrow Wilson. Wilson had a stroke and his wife ran the country. FDR was much sicker than he ever let on when he was elected for his fourth term. So they said, let's do something about that. Now, it's a fairly convoluted, complex process. But why would you nominate somebody, put somebody up, and hope to get them elected to the presidency when they don't qualify in advance? And this is something I'm going to start banging the table on. Joe Biden should be removed from office under the 25th Amendment, in my view, under impeachment too. But let's stick to this, the 25th Amendment. So the Democrat Party is going to try and nominate and elect somebody who, under the 25th Amendment, would not qualify for president. He doesn't have all his beans there. What that part, look, I've done this book, The Democrat Party Hates America. The final changes I made 2 days ago. It's going to the printer tonight. I hope you'll grab your copies, by the way. Damn thing's 400 pages long. I couldn't stop writing. Finally, the publisher said, if you want to get this book out in September, we got to go to the printer, because they wait in line with other publishers. They have to schedule the books. There's only so many companies that can print these things and bind them and do the covers and all the rest of it. So I said, all right. But this could be a whole significant chapter with the examples, with the discussion of the law, the history, 25th Amendment, why we have it, and why the Democrat Party's doing it. Because they don't care if the guy's an orange juice can. It doesn't matter to them, as long as the outcome is what they get. The ends justify the means. I think a lot of the senior hierarchy there does know who's running the country. And you have all these radical Marxists that have been spread out, lacing the federal bureaucracy, making these decisions, pushing ahead. And he's laughed at. And I'll tell you something else. The other problem is this. That's going to provoke a war. Again, our enemies are looking at the calendar. They're looking at the clock. And they're saying to themselves, we don't want to do anything when they have a strong commander-in-chief. That we can't do. And let me ask you a question. Let's say the Communist Chinese attack Taiwan tomorrow. Who's in charge here? Who's in charge? And are you comfortable with Biden being in charge and calling the shots? That's when a president's really tested. Furthermore, if this is what he's doing 2 years into his presidency, imagine what he does at the end of his first term. Imagine what he's doing, God forbid, if he wins his second term and he's in the middle of that term, right up to the end. He's declining, and he's declining fast. I've told you this story before. I guess it was about, 4 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago. When my wife and I were in the Amtrak train going to New York. It was actually 4 years ago. And on the train comes Joe Biden. I think I've told this story, right? And he marches down, his back straight and all the rest. He sits down and his wife sits down. They're facing each other at the back end of the train that we're on, sort of in the corner. And I told you what I said. I went up to him and I said, hello, Mr. Vice President. Knew who I was. You're a smartass. That's what he says. I said, well, take care of yourself. You're here with nobody else. You need some protection. As I walked away, he said, thanks for that. I appreciate it. He was much more cogent 4 years ago. The guy today couldn't do that. He has difficulty walking. He has difficulty speaking. He has difficulty getting his thoughts together. This is not a job, the presidency, for somebody like this. So the Democrat Party is a selfish, power-hungry party. And the fact is, he's not running this government, even though he would approve of everything that's being done, I believe Joe Biden would. He's not running this government. Kamala Harris isn't. She's dumber than him. So who is? Comes to foreign policy, it's Blinken, period. Comes to law, Constitution, it's Merrick Garland. He's making all the decisions. Period. And you go all around the cabinet. That's what's taking place. So, since one of the ways to remove a president under the 25th Amendment requires members of the cabinet to act, do you think they're going to act? Think they're going to act against Biden when they have more power than any cabinet secretaries have ever had in American history? No, I don't think so.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.